Hey everybody, Craig back at you out today on the BMW GS Adventure. Just trying to get a little ride in before Americade. Figured I'd jump on this bike because this is the bike I'm planning on taking to Americade this year. First time taking the GS on the trip. Normally I ride the Goldwing, so just decided to switch it up. So what I wanted to talk about in this video is some, tips, tricks, whatever it is, guide to Americade if you will be happening to go for your first time. Now, even though I say this is tips and tricks for Americade, it could probably apply to many rallies, but I want to talk about Americade specifically. So let's start out with number one. Number one, in order to have a good time at Americade, you have to go with the right mindset. Americade is not Sturgis. So if you're going to Americade expecting to see wet t-shirt contests and bands playing to all hours of the morning and coleslaw wrestling and all that other stuff that comes with some of the rallies, this is not it. I would say if we're doing movie rating scales, with G, P, G, R, whatever it is, this really is a G-rated rally. It's really tame, something you could bring your family to. So again, manage those expectations. If you're going for that, you're going to be sorely disappointed. Second thing I would say about an Americade is, and I don't know this for a fact, it's just my speculation, but I think I'm right on this. Americade is a for-profit event. So you're going to have to pay some money to do things that in other rallies would be free. For example, the vendor area. The vendor area, you have to pay to get in. I know. I have never been to any other rally where you had to pay to get into the vendor area. You had to pay for the right to go buy stuff. But that's just the way it is at Americade. To get a day pass, last year it was $10. I don't know what it's going to be this year, but if you go by years past, it was $10 to get into the vendor section. Again, this is a rally where people are trying to make money, including the local government. You are going to have to pay to park your motorcycle in Lake George. Good or bad news, however you want to quantify it, Lake George will sell you an all-week-long parking pass for $20. Again, that was the price it was last year. Don't know what it's going to be this year in 2024, but you buy the parking pass, you can park anywhere in Lake George, where there's metered parking, and you don't have to pay. It's unlimited for the $20. So, or you just, pay, you feed the meter. So again, people are there. They're trying to make money. I know one of the arguments is, millions of dollars are brought into the area, to the local economy. So why do you have to charge for parking? In my opinion, that's just the way Lake George is. Lake George is a tourist destination all throughout the summer. So even when Americade's not there, people are going to Lake George. Now maybe the prices for the hotels aren't as high, but they're not cheap. You're not going to get, somebody in my comments said, hey, Sturgis, you go the week of Sturgis, the hotels are like $300-400 a night. You go any other time, they're like $80. Well, that's not the way it is at Lake George. They might be $300-400 a night for Americade, but if you go the following week, it might be down to $225. So you're still going to pay because they're a tourist area. So they're collecting money throughout the summer. That's what they do. That's their way to generate revenue. So again, go armed with information so you don't get frustrated when you get there. Again, going back to Americade, you might have seen this in my other videos if you watched them on Americade. Americade offers a registration fee. I believe it's about $100, or maybe a little bit more, that you pay. What that'll get you is it gets you into the demo area unlimited. It gets you into the demo ride area unlimited. It gives you the $20 parking pass for the village. And then I think it also gives you some more parking and whatever events they have. They have like a comedy show and some speakers. It gets you in all those events for $100. They charge for the rider $100, and if you have a passenger, that passenger pays $100 as well. You might even get a t-shirt. I'm not sure. I have gone where I've registered in the past, and I've gone where I haven't registered. In my humble opinion, it's not worth it. I would not pay the registration fee. For what you're going to do, I guess if you're the type of person that's going to be there every day and you're going to go to the demo rides every day and to the vendor area every day, maybe you break even. But usually I'm only going to go to the vendor area once. The demo rides, I believe, are either 10 or 15 bucks if you don't register to give you unlimited, demo rides with the manufacturers, different manufacturers. I don't know. It's just, like I said, I've done it both ways. I'll just pay the 10 bucks. Again, I know what it is. You don't have to go to the vendor area. I pay the 10 bucks. I pay my 20 bucks to get my parking pass. All right, I'm out 30 bucks. I'm not out 100 bucks. So again, your choice, but they're going to try to make some money on the registration if you elect to register. Okay, again, under the guise of managing expectations, let's talk about why you go to Americade. You go to Americade for the riding. It is some of the best riding in New York State. The region is beautiful. You can take a ride around the Lake George area. You can take a ride up into the Lake Placid area. You can take a ride over into Vermont because you're right there by the Vermont border. Just a lot of great riding in that area. If you're so inclined, you can ride up Prospect Mountain. You can ride up Whiteface Mountain. Again, think of Americade, it's a riding rally. It's not a vendor, bands, that type of rally. Even with the vendors, I would say this. They're different vendors, not the type of vendors that you're going to get where you want to change out your handlebars. Nah, it's not that. They might have some vendors there that are doing some motorcycle work. I know there are some vendors, but nothing compared to the major rallies like Daytona Bike Week and like Sturgis. You're not going to have, those type of options. So again, managing expectations. You want to go. If you're going, your main reason you're going is because you want to meet up with people. You want to have a good time. You want to ride around the area. For me, I spend most of my time riding and just checking out the bikes. As opposed to hanging out and being entertained in the vendor area. Okay, let's talk about some more tips. It is the end of May in upstate New York. I live here, so if you are coming to Americade, bring both warm weather gear and cold weather gear. One day it could be 80 degrees and the next day it could be 45. Don't get caught out thinking that it's going to be extremely warm all week or extremely cold. Just be prepared for all types of riding, no matter what the weather forecast is. Again, it's upstate New York. The weather forecast can say it's going to be high 70s, and you get to that day and it doesn't break 50 or it doesn't break 55. So be prepared. I've been to Americade where it was 80 degrees during the week, and on my way home on Saturday it was high 40s, and because I'm a wuss, I had my heated gear on because, again, I don't like being cold. But again, just be prepared for all weather conditions if you're coming to an Americade. All right, let's talk about some other things. Positives. The food in the Lake George area is fantastic. I don't think I've had a bad meal at any restaurant up there. There's a great variety of food, from barbecue to your traditional American fare. It's just great food, even down to pizza. There's a couple really good pizza places. You really can't go wrong picking a restaurant and enjoying the food there. So if it's in your budget, definitely take advantage of the restaurants there. Because I don't think you're going to have a bad meal. Other things that I have observed, in my opinion, I've never seen it. Some people might comment on it, but The police leave you alone. I've been to Americade, not forever, but probably the last 5 years. I have yet to see one police checkpoint. I've seen plenty of motorcycles that had, in New York, expired registrations, expired inspections, because we got to have our bike inspected in New York, and no tickets. They're just not messing with you if your registration's expired or your inspection is overdue. I've just not seen anyone. Again, I would say it's not like your Sturgis rally. You don't want to go around Lake George rev bombing. Yeah, you might have some issues there, but as long as you're respectful to the residents, you got to remember. I'll say this. I shouldn't say you got to remember. Along the main drag of where the event's being held, Canada Street, you go a couple blocks over. There's houses. People live there. There's a school right there on the main drive, and school's in session. So again, people live there. You want to be respectful, and not do stupid things. Outside, if you're not doing anything stupid, I don't think you're going to have any problem with the police. Again, I've never seen the police hassle or bother anybody. You get drunk, you get on your bike and you ride. You might have a problem, which you should have if you're going to do that. But they've been very respectful, so I don't think you're going to have a problem with overbearing law enforcement when you go to America. Demo rides. Here's a tip. If you want to ride a specific bike that's very popular, maybe a brand new bike that has come out, get there early. Those slots are going to fill up quickly. And if you're not there early to put your name on the list for one of the slots, it'll be gone before you get there. So another tip, where to stay for Americade. Now, I've stayed a bunch of different places. I don't camp. I'm not a camper. I'm a hoteler, so I stay in hotels. But I've done both. I've stayed on Canada Street, again, the main drive, at a couple different hotels, and then I've stayed about 10 miles away, and I think it's Queensbury. I'll put it up there. And there's advantages and disadvantages to both. If you stay on Canada Street, the main drag, you're going to pay more. The advantage is, at the end of the day, when you're done riding and you go back to your hotel and you park your bike, you can walk around and look at the bikes all along the strip, all along the drag. If you're the type of person that likes to have a couple adult beverages at the end of the day, you can have as many as you like because you're on foot. Your bike is parked at the hotel and you're just walking from there. So that's an advantage. Again, I would say definitely, because you can, in some of the hotels, they got spots where you just sit out and just watch the bikes all night long. So again, that's a great advantage. The advantage to the off-site, or let me say disadvantage. I'm going to go to disadvantage to parking, or to staying right there on Canada Street, right on the main drag. The disadvantage is if you are the type of person that likes to get to sleep early or something like that, or sleep in late. You're going to hear the bikes as they're coming down the street, coming into the parking lot at the hotel. Probably late at night and definitely early in the morning as people get up. Some people get up for the rides, and they're out. They're firing up their bikes at 6 o'clock in the morning, 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. So if you're the type of person that's like, hey, once they start firing up bikes, I can't get back to sleep, then you just might not want to stay there. Just the abundance of bikes that they have there and firing them up. Yeah, you might want to stay off-site. Oh, and a cruise night here. I'm not a big cruise person, in fact, as far as like classic cars, but I like looking at them. I don't know anything about them when I say that. When I say I'm not a big cruise person, I don't know anything about them. So you could totally lie to me and tell me your car has all original parts, and I'd be like, oh, that's great. All right, let's talk about staying off-site. When you stay off-site at a hotel, again, it's a little bit further away at the end of the night. Again, go back to if you like adult beverages, make sure you're paying attention to what you're doing because you're getting back on your bike. The other thing I would say is the advantage is usually they're less congested, and Again, because they're less congested with bikes, you don't have, the issue with, all the bikes coming in late at night or firing up early in the morning, waking you up. And it's usually quieter. So if you're a person that just wants to quiet at night, stay a little bit off of the main drag, and you'll enjoy it a little bit better. And the prices are a little bit cheaper the further you get away from Campbell Street. All right, just finished leaving up there out of that cruise night. So let me finish up talking about Americade. I really have one more thing to say, I guess, on the subject. If you're going to Americade, just go and have a good time. These rallies, Americade, all of them, they're what you make out of them. Have a good time, enjoy yourself, meet some people. Meet some people, say hi. Hey, if you see me, come up, say hi. I love talking to people. So, as my wife would attest, because I'll sit there talking forever with people. So, but enjoy it. And again, I know there's many Americade veterans, even more so than I am. So if you have some tips that you want to put in the comments, please do. Anything that I left out, let's add it so people can benefit from it. So anyway, that's it. That's all I got for today. Looking forward to seeing everyone that comes to Americade. If you've never been, I think it's worth going at least one time. See if you like it. And that's it. That's all I got to say on that matter. So have a blessed day, everybody, and we will be talking to you soon.